Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Lakendra Red Smith, Health Sector Director of Project Transition under the leadership of Dr. Joaquin Wallace. I have here today with me Colin C.J. James, current football player at the University of Texas at San Antonio, and he's here to join us back with our high-performing athlete and mental health interview series. CJ, how are you?
Great. How you doing, Dr. Smith?
I am well. So I did my best to introduce you. Why don't you tell the audience and our listeners about yourself?
How you doing, everybody? I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. I play football at UTSA. I'm an upcoming senior. Working on expanding my brand and trying to get some league opportunities, some NFL opportunities.
Good deal. So you're a football player, right? Division I football player. You're Division I football players. So if I'm not mistaken, the University of Texas at San Antonio plays in the American Conference, correct? I'm familiar a little bit with the conference, but tell us about your journey and how you got there and why you chose the institution.
I got a pretty interesting journey. I started off in Springfield, Massachusetts, a small town. Not many people leave that place, kind of like a hometown hero type deal. I went from there, didn't start varsity football till my senior year. So, I was kind of a little late bloomer. I ended up going to Lackawanna College out of high school. That's a junior college in Pennsylvania. From there, I went to Abilene Christian. After my coach got fired, I transferred to the University of New Mexico. I did 2 years there. And then for my last year, I chose University of Texas in San Antonio. And it's been a blessing ever since then. San Antonio is just a great place to be at. They got great food, great fans. The Alamo Dome is a great place to play. And I really wanted to make this last year something special, not only for myself, but for my family and, for my community. So I wanted to make an emphasis going all out this year.
It sounds like you were in the transfer portal. So for people who are not familiar with that process, do you mind expounding on that process and what that looks like for the average athlete, especially since you've currently experienced it and recently experienced it?
Yeah, so I've been in the transfer portal twice. You take whatever film you have and you try to market yourself as an athlete to different coaches. The goal is to put your best tape forward so that the coaches can see what kind of potential you have and how you could, help their team grow. I had so much film, I was able to go up in level each time I hit the transfer portal. It's kind of a slippery slope, the transfer portal, because you never know what you might get out of it. You could be a top FBS player and end up going D2, D3, end up going nowhere. So you really just have to play your cards right. Make sure you have the right amount of film. Make sure you're marketing yourself good. Also, make sure you have a good character. A lot of coaches actually coaches before they leave. Oh, why did he leave? Like, what was your reasoning? For me, my reasoning was my coaches ended up getting fired on both teams I was at Abilene Christian and New Mexico. They did a full sweep. So I really, instead of waiting for the new coach to come in and trying to build a relationship with him, I decided to go out and find my own relationship, find coaches that want me to play for them. And I just really leverage that to bring me to this good place.
It's interesting that you mentioned coaching turnover, and that was one of the primary factors as to why you entered the portal. How mentally taxing is that on an athlete to have that type of uncertainty, especially in the day and age of the transfer portal?
It's scary, to be honest. When I first at Abilene Christian, I didn't know if I would get picked up anywhere, if anybody would want me. It's a crazy mental thing that goes on in the transfer portal, but I turned to my religion. I had faith that I was playing football for a reason and that I would be going somewhere, and having that faith just helped me keep working hard and helped me stay focused on the goal. Not to focus on where you're trying to go, but focus on working hard right now, so when you get there, you're ready for whatever opportunity presents itself.
You mentioned elevating each time you got in the transfer portal. So clearly somebody saw something, right? You very likely progressed in talent, right, at every stop. So what memorable obstacles did you face during your time in the transfer portal, and what strategies did you use to overcome those obstacles?
One of the biggest obstacles really with not only the transfer portal, but just with college football for me in general, I'm from Massachusetts. Any school I pick that's a good Division I school is going to be far away from home unless I go to an East Coast type of school. For me, I guess picking the right place for me, being so far away from home, like picking a place that's going to feel like home away from home was probably my biggest challenge. You don't really have that same support system that you would if you went to a hometown school. And, I was okay with that, just stepping out and trying to go and better myself in a different area. And you never know who you might meet along the way. I met a lot of great people. We met just off of me being in a new area. And if you could overcome that obstacle of thinking about, your family, thinking about staying home, stepping out of your comfort zone into trying something new, there's so many benefits that come from it.
So we interviewed Dr. Wallace, the founder of Project Transition, and that was one of the things he mentioned in his school selection process. Like, he had offers from like Nicholls State, some other schools that were far away from home, and he decided that that wasn't worth it for him. He wanted to be closer to family. For all of those who are listening, go back and check out that episode. So let's talk about that, because you mentioned something that nobody else has mentioned, was finding a home away from home. How do you do that? What are the key factors in finding that home away from home?
It's just about being adaptable to your environment. And I think junior college at Lackawanna College really taught me this the most. Don't think about where you at in that moment. You just think about the opportunities that you're going to have from what you were doing, and having that, like I said, that faith to know that you're going in the right direction. I just know that being around good people, being around people that they have the ideals the same as you, they have the same mindset, it distracts you from the fact that you're not near home. It distracts you from the fact that your family can't come see you play all the time. But having a good support system and good people around you keeps you in that mindset that, like, we're doing this for a reason. We're doing this to achieve a bigger goal, and not to focus on, I miss my family for a little bit. I'm trying to go to the league. I'm league bound. I'm hungry for it. Everything else, it doesn't matter to me right now. I'm only focused on my one goal, and that's prosperity.
So is it fair to say that the keys for you finding that home away from home were support?
That's a good way to put it.
So up until this point, what is your most memorable, or what's your most favorite athletic moment personally?
I could say in my career, I've been through a lot of ups and downs. Kind of since I got to college, mostly downs, but I think my favorite athletic moment being in college, I always have a group of people around me that motivates me to keep going. Whether that's max day, whether that's on the field, whether it's mentally, physically, we all just kind of take care of each other. And brotherhood that I formed just from being in college, I met some of my closest friends, like some of the guys I could really call brothers. And just the fact that I was blessed enough to make those type of relationships is one of my highs of college. That's definitely my favorite part about college.
Nice. Camaraderie is always important. When people look for you on the field, what should they be looking for? What position, your jersey number, whatever. Introduce yourself as CJ, the UTSA football starting center.
When you see CJ James on the field, you're just going to see, just a big beast. People used to call me like the Predator when I had my dreads long. I cut them now, so I can't even rock that type of style. But, I'm number 51. I always got my belly out. If you know me, I play with my belly out. It's kind of a staple of where I come from. Shout out to them boys back home, Springfield, Massachusetts, Springfield Central High School. That's where it started. Kind of always when I play football, I kind of make it a emphasis just to be a beast in everything I do. I'll be yelling on the sideline, acting a fool during the games, and that's just how you have to do it, just to have fun. I'm just a dude. When I touch the field, I'm locked in, but I also like to have fun.
What are the mascots of Lackawanna College and Abilene Christian?
Lackawanna College Falcons, Abilene Christian was the Wildcats, and then New Mexico was the Lobos.
Okay, so a Road Runner, a Lobo, and the Falcon are in a squad competition. But that rep on Instagram that you didn't hit, it's a competition between CJ James, the Road Runner, the Falcon, and the Lobo. Who hits that rep first?
Honestly, I think CJ James, the Lobo, I was kind of in a different mindset there. Lifting, I feel like I had better preparation. It's hard to squat your heaviest when you're not squatting heavy all year. It's kind of, you have to pull it out of your backside. We made it an emphasis more speed training, velocity training. My other schools, we was more lift heavy, try to get the heaviest max you can. And, each side has its benefits. Velocity training, I feel definitely more explosive, a little bit faster, more agile. But when I was at my peak, just strength training, I was more of a beast. I was heavy. You're not messing with big CJ, if you know what I mean.
So right now, you are enrolled in the University of Texas, San Antonio's, their master's program. You're working on an MBA, correct? Master's of Business Administration. Let's walk through the perils or the challenges of being a student athlete. Like, how do you make that work with the aspirations that you have, the time commitments that athletics requires, the time commitments that school requires? How do you manage?
It's definitely about managing your time well. My biggest asset towards reaching my goals is time management. Having time to put time away for homework, putting time away for strength training, putting time away for extra work, stretching, all the stuff that it takes to be successful. And I'm learning every day. I'm getting better at it. There's like certain tricks that you could take to get better at it. I got a calendar right here. I started marking all my deadlines and due dates on there. I look at it almost every morning before I leave. That's probably one of the best ways to manage your time, is having a calendar and having something to tell you like when you got something to do.
I concur. I use my Outlook calendar a lot. Let's talk about your aspirations of making it to the NFL. What type of preparation is needed to accomplish such a dream?
Best preparation you could take is just hard work, just working hard every day. That's all I did. I just came in every day, put my head down and grinded, and I didn't really much worry about where I was trying to go in the future. I kept that goal in the back of my mind, but I focus on each and every day. Like for you to reach your goal, you have to stack the days, stack the chips. In order for you to get that finished product, you have to keep stacking every single day. Like, it's kind of like you putting together, like you're trying to make a building. You don't just, like, everybody just sees the building when it goes up, but you never see like the workers working on the building. They will never see the foundation getting set. You don't never see the bricks getting laid, and it's laying the bricks and creating that foundation, which makes you successful in life. Every day I try not to worry about where I'm gonna go. I try to worry about where I'm at, what I'm doing right now, to prepare me for what I'm trying to be at.
So what does a perfect pro day look like for you?
We're gonna go 30 reps, 225 bench, 31 inch vertical. Broad jump, we're going 9 feet, 2 inches. 40 time, 4-9-3. 5-10-5 drill, we going 4-5. I just want to show that I'm agile, I'm strong, I'm aggressive, I'm everything in one. I'm like the whole package.
Who's the toughest defensive tackle that you have faced thus far, or that you believe you will face in the future?
For Darius Payne, he plays for the Houston Texans now. Shout out him. We had a lot of dogs in JUCO. For those of you that don't know, junior college is, you kind of get thrown into the fire. I was a first year in college. I'm on scout team, and I'm going against some older guys. About 20, 21, all the way up to like 23, and those guys, they're already a little bit more developed than you. So I think the toughest challenge I faced in college, in terms of D tackles, was for Darius Payne. Saki. Shout out Saki, man. You definitely put me through the ringers a couple times. He don't play football no more, but that's somebody who really put that work on me. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like a little donut going into junior college. I was, the world is cool. I'm happy. Everything is like all nice and roses and butterflies. But when I went against him, I kind of just, every day I thought it was like a game. Like it was a war every single day. And he used to get the better of me most of the time, but that's really what refined me to be this tough dude coming out that just nobody could get past. When I was in Abilene Christian, another one is Quentin Teatree. I think he just got done playing his last season at Rice. He trying to get some league opportunities. He definitely sharpened my tools. I think throughout my college career, those are some of the top dudes I went against.
Through this entire process, you developed every step of the way. And Project Transition specializes in people development, right? We also have this mentorship program called Project Success, where our aim is totally to help people develop in skill sets, maturation from an athletic standpoint, career standpoint as well. But the key focus for us with Project Success is mentorship. How important has mentorship been in your journey?
Definitely my professional career. Having a mentor is, it's kind of like having an older sibling. You talk to your mentor, you get tips from your mentor. I'm the oldest of 7, so for me, it's hard to get advice from other people. Like being in Project Success and having that mentorship to be able to help me professionally, also like helping me in my business career and helping me in my athletic career, kind of just build my brand and help me focus on my brand and tell me different things that I can do to help my brand. It's been the biggest asset of having a mentor so far. I think if you have anybody who's in a farther position than you, you should always listen and always try to get tips and always just try to take different things that'll make your own brand, your own success better. The biggest part of my journey, that I kind of want to relate to people is just, being relentless and never giving up on your dreams. When I was in high school, I didn't really know I was going to go to college. I thought, I didn't know what to think. I thought after high school, life was kind of just done, and I didn't have any really goals set in mind, or I didn't have any vision of where I was going to end up at. Shout out Coach Brower, Coach Watson, all the guys at Central, Coach Christian. They kept my head on straight. In high school, I lost my way, I lost my vision, I lost my journey, and I was kind of just floating. Coach Brower, he sat me down in his office one day, and he laid out my options, like what I can do to be successful in life, which schools I could go to, and I ended up taking a visit to Lackawanna College. Like they said we was gonna work you, we gonna turn you into a real dog, a real athlete, and that's exactly what they did. And I want to put emphasis on keep that support around you. Try not to push people away, because you never know how they can help you in your life and help you get to where you need to go, especially when you get lost yourself. It's definitely important to have a good support system around you to keep you focused on your dreams and your goals.
The one thing that we realized was a challenge for most athletes is that they're not necessarily really prepared for life after athletics. And regardless of whether your career ends due to injury, whether it ends due to eligibility, whether it ends because you've just decided to retire from professional athletics, there will absolutely be an end. What do you do to prep for the end of your career?
Right now, I'm nearing the end of my career. It's the last couple months I have of football. Last couple months I have of college. I tried to build a big network in college, especially through this master program. There's definitely tons of people who would love to have athletes in their workspace, in their jobs. Definitely education comes first, always. Athletics second, because anybody could take away your athletics. You can't take away your education. My mom always told me that that's really the whole reason why I'm trying to pursue my MBA, why I'm trying to get my master's. Having that backup plan that nobody could take away from me. And because I built that network, the backup plan it works so much better. There's people that would like to put you in places for you to succeed, because it helps not only you, it helps them out too. So having a good network is really gonna help keep success first, and no matter what you do.
One of the things that I've kind of gathered just from this conversation, because I did not realize your family was that large. I did not know that background about you. And so it really seems like you have sacrificed a lot. And so explain what it means to you to make a sacrifice to accomplish a goal.
I try not to think of things that I'm giving up as a sacrifice. I try to think of it as an investment. Everything that I'm giving up, I'm supposed to be getting something out of it. If I'm giving up seeing my family, later on down the line, I'm going to get that back. That's what I'm chasing. I'm trying to make up time that I've lost, build back relationships that I've lost, and I'm focused on my own success. In the end, I know it's going to make everybody prosper. I'm going to be able to put my family in positions to be successful. It's really just about investing some of now for some of later. Doing the hard stuff now so your life is easy later. And that's really my mindset going just into college, athletics, and investing in now in order to receive a big investment later.
Do you believe that's your mindset because you're the oldest of 7?
That definitely has something to do with it. Growing up, we didn't have the best of life. Sometimes we did struggle to eat dinner. Sometimes it was me and my siblings. We used to share a bed, just the 4 of us. I wanted to make sure I never went back to that. I wanted to make sure my kids eat. I want to make sure my siblings eat, my siblings taken care of. I want to pay back, all the sacrifices that my parents made for us. My dad, he used to work hard. He still works hard every day. My mom, she quit school. Actually, let me tell you about this story about my mom. This is kind of the reason why I'm so driven. So my mom, after she and my dad got divorced, she used to work in a police station. She used to be a 911 operator. She made decent money, but when you're taking care of so many kids, you kind of just need more. So she quit school for 2 years to be a nurse. She went to nursing school. I forget which nursing title she has. She makes good money now. She works hard. So seeing her work hard made me always remember just to keep working hard and to keep my goals in mind, because it might not be great now. It might be trash now, whatever you're going through, but the grass is green on the other side. Reaching your goals, that's a priority. Your life is just going to be a little bit better with every goal that you reach. When I failed that big squat, it kind of hurt me bad, because it's just a personal goal that I haven't reached. It's something on the table that still hasn't been taken yet. It's food that hasn't been eaten. Because of my mom, I made it a personal vendetta to reach all my goals, to finish every single plate that comes my way, to really be the best me that I could be in my business journey, in my athletics, as a person.
Why don't you shout out your mom and dad?
My dad, Colin St. Christopher James Sr., shout out Pops. He got me into football. I used to be a water boy for his team back in like 2008. I was around 12 years old. He played O-line too, so he got me into all this blocking stuff. Shout out my mom. She always been my main support system. Drove me to keep going about my goals. Her name is Shannon Scott. And it's been up and down sometimes, but I always know my mom got my back through everything. So shout out my parents.
If you were not a student athlete right now at the moment, what occupation would you have?
If I wasn't an athlete right now, I'd probably be a streamer. I love playing video games. That's one of my main hobbies. Check out my stream, CJ Player 122. I go on there, I stream, I talk to chat, I just kind of hang out. So I'd love for that to be a career after I was done playing football. If I wasn't a football, I'd be a streamer.
So what platforms should people watch you on?
I'm on Twitch, CJ Player 122. I'm on YouTube, also CJ Player 122. It's not the biggest right now, but we growing. It's just about steady growth.
Before we end, do you have any nuggets you want to leave for our listeners or viewers?
Yeah, guys, just keep chasing your goals. Keep your dreams in the front of your mind. Take one day at a time. Every day, make small investments towards your dreams. And I promise you, whatever you do, it's going to come back to you. Just take it from me.
Also, if you don't mind, would you tell us where we can follow you on social media?
My best social media is Instagram, CJamesOfficial_. You can get me on Twitter, Big C51ONE.
CJ, we would like to thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow him on his socials. I am Dr. Lakendra Red Smith, and be sure to follow Project Transition on all of our social media platforms. You all have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Peace out, y'all.